It's called Two Oaks. Rough worn ages old and sentinels in the landscape, gnawed and twisted, limbs torn asunder. What war cries evoke these centurions over time? 1,000 years of living, the human battle lies. Proud earth and tethered horse have passed as giants by. Cold steel and gunpowder could not remove their sight. Amid the shouts of wounded soldiers, they stood for justice bright. Lit up the skyline in dark silhouetted forms to shadow men's demise. They live to the slow pace of earth revolving around the sun. The trunks are like the axis that spins the world to pan. Spirits of the world unite throughout the seasons turn. Rise up, you beasts, upon God's word, and gather your kind to hand. Make ready for the taking of what is duly offered. The power to defeat the oppressors of society's shackled lives. Your instinct is all conquering, omniscient and devout. Upon you lies an eternal fate against which no one can stand. Your paths were ground out of the soil, a weather-beaten toil that gave you girth and strength to mind. The uncompromising wind, magnificent grandeur you have become. Your leaves are partaking. To clothe this naked, tender flesh of our alien planetary ship. They live to the slow pace of earth revolving around the sun. The trunks are like the axis that spins the world to pan. Rise up, you beasts, upon God's word, and carry your kind to him. Rise up, you beasts, upon God's word, and gather your counsel. So that song was written in Greenwich Park in South London, which is one of the places where I used to go sweet chestnut picking. And maybe the idea came to me because I visited the grave of one of my dogs. It's got a sweet chestnut planted on top of it today. So that's called Two Oaks, and these oak trees were 500 years old. So the idea of the song is that they've been watching all this stuff about humanity passing before its senses, if we can call it that. I mean, do you believe that they are sentient beings? I mean, they obviously feel wind and heat and moisture, and gaseous type fluids in the air. So, I mean, sentient because they're alive and they feel the environment. And in this period, epic, you can call it that, of human history, this song is very relevant because it wants you to take in consideration the greater picture. So 500 years of history on just one of these oak trees, it would have seen all those wars before it in one way or another. And it survived them, and that's the important thing. And it survived because it belongs to the greater environment. Not everything survives, especially during war, lots of things burn down. But these trees survived because they were in royal parks. And the song is about hope, this idea that you can live through something. Now, I'm not going to get all sentimental. I always got the context of the greater picture in mind. And the greater picture is the environmental damage that humanity has been doing for hundreds of years, if not thousands. And we must bear in mind that these are just patterns, regular cycles in human history. Deforestation has been going on for many thousands of years, and during times of empires collapsing and that type of thing, lots of forests do actually grow back, but it takes hundreds of years. So the greater environmental picture is the health and sanity of everything on this planet. And that's been the biggest lesson for humanity, because technologically it's always tried to contradict nature and control nature. Now that's all okay if you work with nature and you understand how nature is going to behave, but this has been the great experiment of humanity and the problem of a lack of ethics. There were implicit ethics once in the way that we operated our societies, but a lot of that implicitness has disappeared now, and there's too much individualism controlling matters for a different type of God, and it's the God of money really, and the God of materialism, and the God of finance and material power. And too many people worship that God because they worship themselves and they see it inside them, and when they can achieve that, they feel like God. But the greater planet and the greater universe, which is going to be explored in the ensuing centuries, is going to require an ethics which deals with something the ancient Greeks knew, with something called chaos and the unconscious. And there we will find the origins of humanity. So, as a hope of song, I could try and make that one work as a hope of song, or as a song of hope. But as a hope of song that we have, we could actually believe that we are more than just human, that we actually represent 500-year-old oak trees or even more, that we represent the whole of nature on the planet. If you did that, your decisions would change instantly if you believed that you were someone greater than a human being. Just because you can dominate nature using technology doesn't mean you're greater than nature. And certainly most people who use technology don't know how that technology came about and know very little about it. We're all good at learning how to manipulate technology, but we don't know how to create it. And that's a very special premise of some great minds in the world and great people. And those people have been heroes in one respect, because they have actually helped humanity survive against nature in tooth and claw. And it's one of those experiences here on the farm which I've discovered that I'm always getting stung, I'm always getting cut, I'm always getting dirty with nature and getting hurt. And it's a different type of sentient way of life. You can't just put something on it and think, okay, it's going to heal, and we move on. You actually learn to suffer, just as a 500-year-old oak tree would have done, through all the elements. And when you learn to suffer, you do take in the greater picture. So this is my message to you, that there is hope, but you won't win that hope unless you take in that greater environment and believe yourself to be greater than humanity. Until the next message. And we have a special day today. It's my number. It's the 8th of April. And I'm going to call it COVID Day.